This is Bizworld, and I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan. Malaysia is prepared to work closely with the United States and the UK to address the shortage of timber and timber products faced by the two Western countries. Plantation Industries and Commodities Minister Datuk Zuraida Kamarudin said this can be done by sourcing and value-adding from other countries, especially for certified timber products. The sanctions on Russian timber products imports to the US have undoubtedly led to American importers looking for alternative sources of material, especially for plywood. The current market sentiments on Malaysian timber in the US is positive, especially for Meranti and Keruing, with year-on-year demand for both timber increasing by 9% and 467% respectively. She also added that the Malaysian timber industry has continued to perform well despite the COVID-19 pandemic and economic aftermath, with exports up by 3.1% to 22.7 billion ringgit in 2021 from 20.02 billion ringgit in 2020. The shortage of workers continues to dampen the recovery of the local retail industry, and retailers are also struggling for supplies due to the weakening of ringgit and lockdowns in China.
Especially happening to this Raya. Again, it's very unique that we don't really see before. One is staff, manpower. Right. I myself, during the Hari Raya period, went to restaurant, retail store. I can see for the first time, retail store put out signs, sorry, we are short of manpower. Right. So for F&B, say expect slow in when you order the food to deliver. This stage of pandemic.
Managing Director of Retail Group Malaysia Tan Hai Sin, however, said that the pandemic has accelerated the digital transformation for Malaysian retailers, as well as payment via e-wallets or QR codes, which are now widely accepted for consumers' convenience.
We didn't expect what happened the last few weeks, huh? Right, the last few weeks.
Bank Negara's decision to increase the overnight policy rate OPR by 25 basis points to 2% recently will not negatively affect the housing market in 2022 and 2023. According to Juwai IQI Chief Executive Officer Kashif Ansari, rather than creating a risk for the housing market, the OPR increase was a reflection of the economic rebound, reflecting Bank Negara's view that the economy no longer needed the extra support of ultra-low interest rates. The housing market will react positively this year and in 2023 to the growing economy, household income and employment, with the gross domestic product expected to climb as much as 6.3% this year. As such, the firm expects positive economic conditions to drive strength in the real estate market that will gather pace in the second half of this year and in 2023. Moving on, Koperasi Peserta Felkra Malaysia, KPFB partners with subsidiary of newly listed SIAB Holdings to develop a residential project in Selangor with a gross development value GDV of 389 million ringgit. The residential project will consist of 960 apartment units with prices ranging from 360,000 ringgit and 400,000 ringgit.
Blok tu kita memang bagi pada prima cadangan kita, dan ini telah pun mendapat persetujuan. Datuk Chairman mereka dah berbincang dengan Perdana Menteri bersetuju untuk satu blok tu kita bagi kepada prima. Ya, kita ada 3 blok, 2 blok kita untuk semualah. Yang satu tu untuk prima.
KPFB is expected to reap 13% profits from the 389 million ringgit, amounting to 50 million ringgit. The development, which will kickstart October this year, will take 3 years to complete. Koperasi Perkhidmatan Pelajaran Nasional, Koperasi Kaki Tangan Felkra Malaysia and Koperasi Hartanah Anggun are appointed as sales agents for this project. CGS CIMB Research expects digital banks to commence operations by 2024 and only break even between 2026 and 2029. It pointed out that the digital banks will not be able to engage in long-lasting price competition with incumbent banks before they begin turning profits, as this would further deplete their shareholders' funds, which are much smaller than those of incumbent banks. The incumbent banks have three options in their strategies to respond to the emergence of new digital banks: build on their existing digital infrastructure, create new digital channels, and create digital-only banks with the existing license. The third option is the least likely to be employed by the incumbent banks due to the additional costs and investments involved, as well as financial and reputational risks. And that's all for Bizworld today. I'm Muhammed, Ahmad, Hamdan. Thank you for investing your time with us.